One thing I'm going to tell you is you cannot motivate yourself into success. Neither can you affirm yourself into success. All those your motivational speeches and your words of affirmation cannot work if you are not a certain kind of person. Now, what do I mean? You do not wake up one morning and start to say, I'm going to be a billionaire in 5 years. I see myself driving a Ferrari, owning a house in Los Angeles, living in Beverly Hills, or traveling around the world. Or you write long notes in front of you, and every day you wake up and you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna be this. I believe in myself. Those things are good, but there needs to be someone that needs to come in contact with those words for you to become that person. There needs to be a training. There needs to be a quiet time. There needs to be a preparation that needs to birth that person. Now, creating a pictorial image of who you need to be is the first start. But there are other things you need to do to make the package whole. The reason why you are burnt out and you are tired of all those motivational speeches and it's 5 years down the line now, no success, is not because it cannot happen. Is because there is something that is going wrong in what you are doing that is not making that person to come to reality. Now, we were created in God's image, and one of the characteristics of God is creation. Another characteristic is seeing things and making it possible. And we as human beings have that ability. That's why there's a way you can picture yourself in your head that no matter what anybody tells you, you have created that image and nobody can tell you otherwise. Now, after creating the image of the version of you want to see, what do? Now you have to become that person by putting in the work. You do not just create an image and every morning you wake up giving yourself motivational speeches and you are watching movies, spending your whole 24 hours, 14 hours out of your 24 hours is for just movies and hanging out with friends. And you think in 5 years you're going to become someone. Is not possible. This life is straightforward. You need to find the patterns. You need to go and make research. You need to study. There are people that have become the person you want to be. Now, have you made research to see who they were before and what they did to make them successful? Someone like Tony Robbins, if you've heard his story, he had 4 fathers, and then there was a Thanksgiving period whereby somebody brought food, but his father didn't want to take it. And that whole story was what birthed his Feeding the Nation, and he has been able to feed almost 1 billion people. That's a project he's on. I think he has fed them already. And then another thing about him is he said something happened between him and his friend, and he said that day, I think his friend's mother, they didn't like him, and he had to trek back or walk back under the rain. And he said when he was walking back under the rain, he spoke to himself. He said he was shouting out loud, and that was the beginning of his success story. He didn't just shout to become the person he is today just by shouting and remaining there. What did he do? He went to Jim Rohn's seminar, used his last money to pay for that seminar. He became an intern for Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn mentored him, and now everybody knows the name Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins didn't just shout at the top of his voice under a rainy day and affirming himself and not do anything. He put in the work. He was under mentorship. He was under training. He followed the patterns. He read books. He made research, and today everybody knows him. But you want to be Tony Robbins. You don't know any story about him. You want to be Elon Musk. You don't know anything about Elon Musk. You want to be Ronaldo. You don't know anything about Ronaldo. And somehow in your head, you want to be them. Success stories and failure stories are good for you. Now you pick those 2 stories, pick what you have to take from them, drop what you should not do, and use it to be a successful person in life. Stop stopping at the point of just giving yourself words of affirmation and not going further to do something. When you have created the image of who you want to become, then you put in the work. Don't listen to people. It's okay for people to give you their ideas. It's not every idea that should be important to you. Once you have created that image, this is who I want to be. There's a mindset shift you need to have before you birth in another version of you. If the mind is not moved, you cannot be that person. I am speaking from experience. It took a mindset shift for me to achieve a lot of things I achieved in my life. You cannot think small and become great. It's not possible. Now, that's why you hear people say poverty is a mindset. Indeed, is a mindset. No matter even if they give birth to you in the trenches of the third world countries, you can build yourself. There are people that were Tony Robbins, like I said, he didn't grow up from a rich family. Who is he today? Everybody knows his name. Oprah Winfrey, she also had her own issues while growing up. So all your stories are meant to create a message from you. Make sure your mess turns into your message, and don't make your mess an excuse not to become something in future. Put in the work. Reframe your mindset. Go and do the research. Go and do the study. Go and put in the investment you need to be a better person. Because you see your motivational speeches and your words of affirmation, they are not going to help you if you don't become the person that is needed to be for that position that you want to get into. Have a nice day.